What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
We live on all platforms.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got another episode, Concrete Reality TV. Oh, Cutter called this one. He wanted to talk about this gun violence, Biden's executive order that just came out, and what the hell do we do next? We
Right.
uh we just kind of came up with this because we didn't want to wait on it. So I'm gonna just start this on up. You know how we do it. Concrete Reality TV. So we got our boy Curtis back in the mix. I think Curtis, you're gonna be like a pretty much a full-time host on this thing. You on the panel.
Hey man, well you know what? I love it and I appreciate the opportunity. So you will thank you all for having me once again, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up, Cutter? So let's go and jump on in this thing. They've been
Man.
I don't even know what to say, man. There's so much chaos that's been going on recently. They got us pretty busy.
Hold on, gentlemen, and y'all surprised? Are we so? Don't tell me y'all surprised today
No,
after
I ain't
these
surprised.
conversations we've had over the past couple weeks. Is I do believe in one of our episodes. I told you it was Mayday.
You did bring
You
up
did call
Mayday.
it. You called it, bro.
Right,
Hey,
Called
right.
it.
did you ever explain? Because I posted what Mayday was. Did you post what? I mean, did you explain what Mayday was?
Well, I think in that last bit we touched on it a bit, man. You know, every time after Easter, a part of that ritual that they go through is a sacrifice, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get the term Mayday. It's not just a distress call, but it's a term where where they're actually performing these what I like to call these sacrifices,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, as since we spoke that last time on it, we've seen how many, and I told you this is the month for it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we've seen what a total of what 3 to 4, and then I think I just got another one that came across. Uh, Matter of fact, hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, 8 women, 3 men dead after a gunman opened fire in a hotel. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So here's another one, right? It just popped across my screen. So this is the month for it, man. So I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, they would have thought from the Vegas thing that they would have figured out this thing about gun control or
Mm-hmm.
gun violence. But we back at the topic again, and like I said, 2 years from now, we still gonna be having this conversation.
Man. Hey, yeah, because the Mayday that I found was this. That's not the Mayday you talking about. It say Europeans and Americans celebrate May
No,
Day
no,
with
no, no. We ain't talking
flower
about that one.
crowns, maypole dancing, flower baskets, loved ones. That's not the May Day you talking about,
No,
Cody?
no, we ain't talking. No, no, ain't no love and happiness in this one. Okay.
Not in that May Day. So let's start
So
right off, man. Cutter, do you got your video pulled up so we can kind of? Oh, before we start, make sure y'all like, subscribe on our YouTube channel. We need some followers, man. I know y'all hate what we be doing most of the time because you feel like we be hating on your beliefs and all that shit, man. We just talk about whatever comes to mind. It just so happens that some of the stuff offends people. It's not purposely done. We just talking shit. So
yeah.
come join us, man. Y'all could drop your comments. It's not going to offend us. I mean, it's going to stoke up some dialogue. So come on in, drop a comment, like, subscribe. Cutter, what you got for us?
It's actually I'm going a different direction with this. We all know about the shooter. Well, the children, God rest their souls, and uh condolences to the families of the children, as well as the, I think it was one adult that was killed.
Mm-hmm.
um Condolences to their families, but I want to get knee deep into the actual shooter. We definitely know that it just came out that he was another bullied kid, sort of like the kids at Columbine. uh that he was bullied. So I want to bring that up and kind of touch on that, and then we can get knee deep into the actual event. So give me 1 second here.
Okay. So I pull up the video. Which one you pulling up first? The Biden?
Nah, I'm pulling up. I guess these are, well, one young lady actually knew the guy, so the young man. So she's actually speaking her piece. So I'm gonna bring that up, and we're gonna share that and see what she has to say. This is my first time looking at it, just like everybody else, y'all. So
yeah, because when I was at the gym, I was checking out some of the background on it because I hadn't checked it out too much. But so the young man's a Hispanic guy, 18 years old, and yeah, they talking about he was everything bad in society that a young man could be.
Right. So we go. Can y'all hear it?
Nope. Are you on
hold on,
are you on Chrome?
Again. Yeah, I forgot I gotta
you gotta go through
do this
Chrome
again.
Yep. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna say. Then I'm definitely gonna give my my little comments on this thing.
You're damn right.
Because I was wondering, because the way they talking, they're going towards the routine or the philosophy of trying to prevent gun violence by trying to make stricter laws on guns, purchasing guns. So
let me say this: we make a strict law, but does it get rid of guns?
No.
Oh, okay. So we'll be talking about this 2 years from now.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah. I mean, that's that fluff I be talking about, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always fluff. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll initiate a couple of executive orders.
Yeah, just to make drop a little. We're doing something.
We're working on it, though.
Yeah, we're working on
something. We're working on it.
We're making progress.
For the last 20 years, they've been working on it, but yeah, we're making progress. Let's check this young lady out and see what she has to say.
Okay. Still can't hear it. Nope, still can't hear it.
Still can't hear it?
That's
weird. Hold on.
Which one is that? See if it.
We'll try this one more time.
Yeah, because while we're waiting, my mind, I'm always thinking on the level of racism, because we live in a race-based society. So I'm always thinking about the demographics that are going to be impacted by the decisions of legislators. So if they pass a law regarding a stricter gun registration, I don't, that's not going to do too much for the problem, because the problem is the people that are making the actions, performing the actions. So I kind of agree with Charlemagne from Breakfast Club, and I rarely do that, but he makes sense. It was a simple statement. How can you legislate hate? I just don't see how you can. I mean, because it's not the guns. Guns don't shoot themselves.
Brother, they've been legislating hate since 1776.
Yeah, okay? They have.
This was founded on hate, and when they wanted to switch it, they called it Jim Crow, right? And they legislated it that way, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, our U.S. Constitution, let's just go back to that, right? We have the right to do what? Bear arms.
Yeah. Okay? Number two.
Bottom line. It's number two. Okay?
Yeah.
After freedom of speech, which is what allows us to have these conversations, right? That I can go to my number two, right? As a citizen and a part of the republic, to go, I have the right to bear arms. So you can legislate it all you want. You can put in all these little things and this, that, and the other, but technically, as an American citizen, it is your right. It is not a privilege. right? It is a right to bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you know, they didn't think that people were crazy when they were hanging us from trees.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was a part of the social norm to have a picnic and go pick a nigga and hang him. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, they've been legislating hate for years. But now that it's coming where it's turning on its own people, right now there's an issue with it, right?
Yeah.
So
Do you think that it's because because it technically has not hit as far as the white neighborhoods or white part of society? It hasn't hit them a whole lot. It seems like the shooters are always going after low income society. They're going after that, shooting it up because it seems like it's easy pickings. Unless I don't know why. Is it, I guess, proximity? Do you think it's a proximity effect? Is that why it goes on? Because even the shooter that drove 2 hours to the supermarket, he could have shot up his own neighborhood, his own supermarket. So he specifically targeted the people of color for whatever reason. They're still investigating that, but he specifically picked out that particular place to shoot up people of color. And then this guy was 18-year-old Hispanic, and he shot up his local elementary school for whatever reason. I don't know. That's the part they're going to investigate. But so far, white America hasn't been touched on a lot of aspects.
I mean, let's go back. You know, I mean, you can talk about what is that, Handy Cook, right? Or Sandy Cook, or whatever that
Sandy
was,
Cook, yeah,
up to years ago, right? You've had them over the years, brother. You know, but it's not like you going into Beverly Hills shooting up people. You're gonna shoot up where it's more accessible to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are, and unfortunately, it just so happens to be in everyday communities that we're seeing this. You know, one thing, like I said, I wanna just bypass race for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say we don't battle with principalities of flesh and blood, right? We battle with those things that are founded in the spirit. So it's in the spirit of people where you have this type of hate and cruelty. You know, this brother was Hispanic. You know, the other brother was white. You know what I mean?
right.
Let's just talk about black people in our own community. You know what I'm saying? And the amount of gun violence that we have in Kansas City and Chicago and some of the other areas. You know what I mean? I think hate crosses all colors and racial boundaries, right? We're talking about people. You know, this brother was Hispanic. You know, the other brother was white. You know what we're talking about.
Somebody got their phone on. Oh,
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So, you know, at the end of the day, brothers, like I said, I think it moves beyond race. You know what I mean? And hate is a spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I think we've seen that against our own people. We've seen it on person to person with black people, right? We've seen it, you know, black on Asian, which don't make it no better, right? So when that's just a form of ignorance, going back to not treating everybody as your brother.
True.
Well, I'm curious. We can piggyback off of that once Cutter plays this. Did you get it to work?
Yeah, I got it to work.
Again?
I got it to work. So we're gonna go ahead and play this here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I knew the person with the gun. He was really a nice kid. He would make you smile when you're having a bad day. If he'd just ask you if he could buy you something, and you know, he was just really a nice kid.
Why do you think he would possibly do this with a gun and shoot such a well-liked teacher and indeed some of his school colleagues?
I believe it was because I saw him getting bullied a couple of times, and I think he took out his bullying on it.
Let me turn to your mother, Tabitha Newton. Obviously, it's every parent's nightmare, isn't it?
Well, first of all,
Tabitha, that your
we're gonna
kid
pause
goes to
this
school and gets caught up in a shooting like this. What is your take on what happened today, and what do you know about the family and this boy?
We're gonna pause that because first of all, that's in Nevada. That's another school shooting, which is a good thing actually, because a lot of these kids are bullied. So we're gonna pause that,
Mhm.
and let me see here. We're gonna go into the actual shooter that was bullied. All right. I know people, whoever looking on, yeah, we doing all this on the fly, so y'all
It's
bear
all
with
good.
us. All right.
Yeah. So while we waiting, so I guess you found it. Oh, you
Yeah, I
pulled it up
found it,
quick.
so we can go. Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
All right, so
Did you have any conversations with her?
With his grandmother, she was a wonderful person. I mean, hopefully she will make it out okay. But
So she was living alone, and
no, her husband and her lived there.
also they were living together, and
Yes.
the grandson. as
And
well.
the grandson was staying there with them because he got into a fight with his mom.
How long do you know he was staying there from? Since
And I don't have an idea how long.
do you know what he was fighting about with his mother?
No, I don't. No, I don't. They usually they would make fun of him because of the way he dressed. He didn't have the money, or at least that's what we thought. But possibly he was saving his paychecks to go and buy the weapons.
When you said they were making fun of him, who was making fun of him?
All his friends and everything because of the way he dressed, and he had a list. Yeah, he had a list, and they would make fun of him.
And the grandparents told you all of this?
No, his friends did.
His friends told you.
His friends put him on the phone and said he had problems, conversations, and they would make fun of that. And he would touch himself, and he would tell his friends that his cat had scratched him. But later on, he said, "No, I did it myself."
But his friends were coming to you for help.
No. They were just texting it on the phone.
To you. What type of clothes was he wearing that they made fun of?
Well, just regular clothes, but not, like, what do you call them? The good clothes that you buy at expensive stores. They were just dress.
Is your daughter the principal
Yes.
of the high school?
No, Rob.
Of okay. Oh wow.
She's the principal at Rob, and my granddaughter works there as a parent liaison.
What was it like for you to endure yesterday, not knowing if she was okay? And
Until late at night, I kept wondering if she was all right, and later in that night, she says, "I'm doing okay." And I said, "How's Stephanie doing?" She's okay too.
Stephanie's your granddaughter? She's a student at the school?
No, she's a parent liaison.
Apparently. What was the FBI asking you earlier?
The same thing that you guys were asking about my daughter and granddaughter.
So that's the neighbor. One of his
yeah,
neighbors. Shooter's neighbor.
one of the neighbors, I'm assuming, and also he said his daughter and granddaughter work at the school.
Okay.
But basically what he's saying is the boy was severely bullied. He's calling them friends, but I would doubt that his friends would bully him. Obviously it's probably kids that he's associated with, or kids around the neighborhood, or whatever. But at the end of the day, there's no real excuse to something obviously was wrong with him mentally. And I think him being bullied may have had something to do with him lashing out that way. And he did also mention that he was living with his grandparents because he had issues with his mother. So obviously the young guy had issues mentally from jump, and they probably didn't handle that correctly. And they say instead he was working, but he was saving his money to buy guns instead of buying, clothes, I guess, to fit in or whatever. or you know, styles, you know, stylish clothes to fit in so he wouldn't get bullied. Because, you know, let's be honest, that's what we used to do. We either borrowed them or we went and, you know, saved our money so we can buy stuff that, you know, was, you know, stylish, that we, you know, so we wouldn't get talked about at school and bullied at school, and whatnot, man. I'm not saying everybody did it, because everybody didn't. But at the end of the day, for you to take that anger, that hate, and go and shoot up an elementary school, it baffles me a little bit. It throws me off. I mean, not saying that he should have went and shot up a high school. He shouldn't have went and shot up any school at all. But to go to the elementary school where, I mean, did he know anybody at the elementary school? Like, it just, I don't know, man. It's a lot of questions that, you know, that I have about him as an individual, but he's no longer here to answer them. So, you know.
Yep. Because from now it'll always be hearsay, because we don't know. So now we've lost the first-hand account primary witness, which is him.
Hey, brother, I just want to say the obvious. That Hispanic brother is dead.
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
They didn't offer him no Kool-Aid, no cheeseburgers. They didn't ask him if he needed. No, they shot him dead on sight.
On site.
Yeah.
They ain't wasting no time.
All right.
No
They
Burger
didn't waste
King.
no time with him. Now let's go back.
Go ahead. Let's get it.
Let's go back a little bit up there in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right. That brother was alive. So I'm still trying to. You see the little memes on social media.
Yeah.
But here it is. He's another prime example that a brother of color is now deceased, while your Caucasian counterpart, he's still alive. Just saying, like, I get it. I don't condone what he did, and I'm not saying you probably should have kept him alive. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just pointing out the obvious that normally when these instances happen and they're white men, that these gentlemen are detained very peacefully. No scratches, no thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
You know,
I noticed that too, Curtis, because you can't help, because again, we live in this type of society where no matter what, you're gonna look at the demographics of the circumstances. What's their race? What's their gender? Where are they from? What's their religious belief? Their economic background? All of that. Have they been arrested before? Their social status? All that stuff. You're looking at all of that to determine what the motivation was for the action. And you know, so if we kind of dig into that a little bit, yeah, he might have gotten shot because he's in Texas, number one. So
that may be
Texas is a lot more aggressive with their responses. It did him being a Hispanic, and I hate making light of
shit out your ass in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, and then Buffalo's Buffalo. Buffalo ain't Texas, so by no means. So I guess I kind of see that as a regional might have something to do with it as well.
Well, not to say that we're gonna hope for anything, but the next time we have one of these, if it happens to be in Texas, you know, I'm gonna be focusing.
Yep, seeing who the shooter is.
Right.
And you can't have, again, you gotta laugh to stop from crying. That's the whole point. Because we got so many of these, it's no way possible that you can even just be as serious as you probably was before, because we all become numb to it because you can't help it. It happens so much. All of this is happening. It seems like every other week, every other day is something popping off. And like you, Curtis, you mentioned is hate. Yeah, it is hate. It's definitely hatred.
All right.
But we can't ever remove the means by which the hatred is expressed, because You said going into spirituality. You can't go into spirituality because spirituality is abstract. You can't see it. So once you take it into the spiritual realm, all you've done is put it into something that no one can see except yourself. You're the individual. So you'll determine what that is based off of what you feel, because what you're describing is something that you can only see based off of your reality that you're painting. But
Right.
if we keep it with the facts, if we stay with the facts, it keeps everybody honest and focused on what we have as far as tangible evidence to weigh our opinion against. If you don't have that and you remove that, it kind of takes the guy off the hook, because now we start speculating too much. We start going left. Okay, well, he could have did this, or maybe inside of his mind he was thinking this, or maybe this particular deity or whatever else you want to put in there did this, and maybe he was possessed, or maybe no. We're not going there. We're sticking with the facts. The dude shot up some Hispanic. He shot up some Hispanic kids in Texas. And
I mean, at the end of the, yeah, I agree, F. I mean, Chris made a good point earlier when he talked about, the bullying, right? Now, I mean, when we was coming up as kids, I mean, you couldn't have no thin skin. I mean, everybody was cracking on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And cracking in school, that's what we called it back then. You was cracking jokes and, talking about somebody, whether his hairline was messed up or, you know what I'm saying, whether he wasn't wearing the latest shoes or something, or, he may have been a little musty coming from gym, you know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody had a joke. And I mean, at that point, yeah, everybody, if we wanted to call it that, was bullied, so to speak. I mean, I remember us growing up, and you had the popular kids in high school, right? And then you had this not so popular kids that kind of got picked on and this, that, and the other. I mean, it was the culture of going to school, right? And as far back as I can remember, like 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th, it was always the same, even in the high school, right? But wasn't nobody that damn sensitive to where they going home, getting their daddy gun, coming back to school and said, I'm just going to be frustrated and shoot up everybody. Right? What we're talking about is, I know for us growing up as kids, we were taught problem solving, right? So if a dude cracked on me, you know what I'm saying, or they were bullying me, then I ain't just gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't taught to just take it. I was taught to address the issue and problem solve it in whatever way that meant that was healthy. But the end resort was never, hey, violence to where I want to shoot somebody up. The worst thing we did was go fisticuff, right, Chris? We throw up some hands or something like that.
You
right?
have to throw hands.
And catch a little detention or a little school suspension, and that was it. And at least your bully knew, hey, he ain't gonna take this.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back, man. And I hate to say it because I got kids of my own, but I tell them, boy, y'all soft, right? Because you couldn't grow up in my day and age with my mama and some of the things. I mean, because if you got in trouble at school, you had mama, you had grandmama, you had your daddy, you had everybody to deal with. No, Lord forbid if you had some aunties over there. It took a village to raise a child, and I think now those values, I think that we should be instilling in children are far gone. Most of the time, they're letting electronics and iPads and computer games and going back to desensitization, right? You're desensitized because everything you see on TV and the video games, it's all violence, right? So, I mean, at one point, are you teaching children how to problem solve things effectively? How does America deal with problems, right? We go to war. What's the difference? Right? We're going to go in and kill a bunch of people, whether it's in Syria, whether, it's over in the Ukraine, wherever they fighting at, right? We can go in and we can kill goo gobs of people, even our own people get killed. And now we're heroes, just like you saw, he's wearing his little veteran hat, right, for Vietnam. And how many people got killed in Vietnam, but it was okay. It was justified.
Right.
So to me, there's a bit of hypocrisy there where we'll justify killing on one level, but then on another level, we condemn it. But it's still the same act. It's killing.
True.
Yeah.
So, Mike, let's go into this. And I want to change. I want to stay on the topic, but I want to change the direction. Let's go to the school. in many schools. When I was working for FedEx on my route, I was delivering to elementary schools and middle schools. And majority of those schools, especially in Atlanta, in the city, you were not able to just walk in. You weren't like you couldn't go through the side doors. You couldn't go through the back of the gym. And even, to deliver to the school, they had to buzz you into the doors. So my question first is, how did he get into the building? Secondly, majority of the schools as well had a police officer. In Houston, they have police officers for certain school districts that either patrol the school or they work or they're stationed at a particular school. My question, and I know every school district is different, but my question, and it's something I posted on Facebook a couple of years ago, and people actually jumped on me. I was surprised when they did it, but they actually kind of jumped on me because I suggested that sort of like if you jump on the plane today, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who the officer is, the air marshal is, but they're always on the plane. You never know who they are, though. I suggested that a couple of people in the staff, maybe one or two people, should be armed at that school in some way, form, or fashion. Should be armed at that school. Now, nobody should know who they are. It's sort of like the air marshals. You would have certain members who are legally trained and appointed by law enforcement to be able to carry on campus. And people jumped my ass. They jumped my ass. They were, oh, that is crazy. What if the teacher loses their mind? You know how stressful a teacher's job is. I'm like, look, I didn't say it should be a teacher. It could be a janitor, hell. It could be a cafeteria worker. It could be an assistant principal, officer there. It could be anybody. But the beauty of it is nobody actually knows who's strapped. And of course, you would have to go through proper training to know, certain protocols should be set in place for that particular school. And I mean, I didn't get a chance to explain that, but to me, I'm not saying like people would never go and shoot up another school. I'm simply saying that, hey, maybe they would think twice, especially if they're them not knowing who has a gun. Yeah. They could possibly go into that door, start shooting, and somebody comes in and apprehends them or shoots them down before they can kill more than one or two people. Because they never know anybody. They don't know who it is that has, who's strapped in there. So
do you think it would have changed?
Huh?
Do you think it would have if they would have had like a on school campus, type of marshal, guy that's packing, that's for real? Do you think it would have made a difference?
Who knows? That's my point. At least the threat is there. The threat is in place for any shooter, student, adult, whatever, to know if I go into this school and start shooting, it's a possibility I might not make it out, or I might not even make it down the hallway with my machine gun. Because one or two people who know that school, know the layout, are trained professionally, efficient. They're trained to protect that particular school, whether it's an elementary, whether it's a middle school or high school, these people are trained to know what happens, what protocol to take if a
If that
school
happens.
shooter comes in. They know what doors to lock. They know what angles, degrees they need to take. You go to this end, I go to that end, he goes to that end, you know, whatever. I'm just hypothetically speaking, but there has to be a protocol for that now at this point. And I've been saying it for some years, but people, like I said, they called me crazy because they thought I said every teacher should be strapped. No, I'm not saying that stupid shit. Like, I'm simply saying that there should be appointed individuals in that school who have access to weapons.
It sounds like you want some lean on me, some Joe Clark.
Man, it gotta be at this point. How many more schools should, this is why I wanted to talk about this. This is exactly why I wanted to talk about this tonight. At this point, what else can we do?
So Crazy Joe.
Well,
You gotta take that tactic. At least entertain it.
What you got, Curtis?
Well, I mean, Chris, I get you, right? But it's like we're narrowing it down to one facet, which is just to say the school system, right? Crazy. If you want to shoot up somebody, you ain't got to go down to the school. We seen you can drive 2 hours to a grocery store, and because people are accessible all over, just like the guy in Vegas. He sat up there in one of the hotel rooms like sniper, you know what I mean? Having sniper training, picking them off from a distance during a concert. You know what I'm saying? So the right to bear arms is a reality, right? And I don't think the forefathers, when they put it in there, were discussing people's mental health, because I think there was just an unspoken responsibility that came around, you know, having a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. And most of the time it was for hunting or it was for protection of your land or property.
It was to put down the slaves.
Well, yeah, that too. Well, back to property, right? Back to property.
Yeah, that is
NRA.
You know, so I mean,
research sign.
Yeah, gun violence ain't never been, you know, pro-black. Okay, let's just get that real. But I think you're in a different age, in a different time, and if anybody wants to go get anybody on that level, you know, there's nothing stopping them. I mean, there's public events all day long. We've seen it in malls, we've seen it in schools, we've seen it in subway systems, we've seen it at concerts. I mean, shit, we've seen drive-bys, right? You know, and all the innocent bystanders that got killed from those. So I don't think you could narrow it down, Chris, to one level, right? Because, like I said, it may stop that, but once again, yeah, it stopped 9/11. Look at what we did there, right? So we put in the Patriot Act, we put in all these things at airport security, this, that, and the other. Has it stopped killing? No.
Oh, it hadn't. Hold on, pull you back up. So what do you do? I mean, because would you do that at every school? Like, where does it stop? Do you just have training for like everyone, that all schools? I mean, because that's a lot of manpower, and then they would be responsible for putting their life on the line for the kids. So you're asking teachers to be basically military type of soldiers, security type things. I don't know.
Well, let me play something really quick.
Okay.
Hold on one second here. I was gonna bring it in, but this thing here. Okay, there it is. Well, before I bring this up, because I forgot I'm on a different Chrome window. Before I bring it up, there was an ex-officer discussing the possibility of having somebody placed in the schools for these purposes. I mean, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. If you own a bank and that motherfucker keep getting robbed, and you don't have security, are you gonna put some security in the place, or are you just gonna keep getting robbed? It's common sense at this point. Like, if you keep having school shootings, they're shooting the schools because they know they can. There's no threat there. They know they can go into the schools, and with a machine gun, like you said, Curtis, you can go in the grocery store. Who has a gun in the grocery store?
Hey, man, I'm just trying to get broccoli. That's it.
That's all. You trying to give me some
Exactly.
chips, some snacks.
Right.
You go to Walmart, you're not packing in Walmart unless you the baby or something like the dude that was shooting people in Walmart, shot the dude in the Walmart. Well, he already had beef in the town, so of course he was packing.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? We don't have beef. We're everyday Americans, man. We tax-paying citizens, man. We ain't got beef with nobody. We're not rappers. We're not gang members or nothing like that. We're going to Walmart, dude. I'm going to get some curly fries and some, some vittles, some JD's vegan ice cream and some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going in there just to shop. Gunman comes in and he starts shooting. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run and hide like everybody else. I ain't got no gun. Well, in the car, yeah, but I can't get to that motherfucker now. So, I mean, at the end of the day, shooters go where they know that there is no other threat. Ain't no shooter going in. Come on, these are cowards when you think about it. These are not soldiers. These are not people who would go to a war or join the military. These are people who are cowards. So they're going to the weakest points where they don't feel like they're gonna see any return fire. Now they probably have already made up in their minds, once the police get there, I'm probably a dead motherfucker, but fuck it, I'm gonna go out like this. But they're not looking for a staff member to come out blasting at their ass with a 12-gauge shotgun or assault rifle. Go to Mexico and see if you can see. Matter of fact, go to the dock of Mexico, one of the docks of Mexico, and see how many of them motherfuckers have machine guns.
Yeah,
well, here, I'll do you better. Kansas City has a nickname. It's called Killer City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right.
We exercise the right to bear arms, right? We carry, conceal, all that. Right, most of my partners, they walk around with their guns on them in the grocery store, wherever it may be, right? So I mean, you come here with all that, but most of these guys here, they carry, black and white. So you come in shooting, but I guarantee you, there's probably half the Walmart got guns. You know what I mean? So like you said, it goes back to state. Some states, they don't allow you to carry. States like Missouri, states like Arizona. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to carry, which you ain't, and I don't normally in those states hear about these things happening. It's normally in states where, you can't really carry or you don't have that right to carry. I think Texas, I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, you
Texas can carry, right?
Yeah, you definitely, especially in Texas.
All right, so
you definitely can carry.
I mean, at the end of the day, the right to bear arms also means the right to defend yourself.
Right.
So just as much as it's used for assaulting others and taking lives, it can also be used to defend lives. And I think, Chris, that's what I hear you saying, right?
Basically.
That we can use the weapon to defend lives just as much as they take lives. But for me, irregardless, it's still the same thing. We're just giving a justification to the killing based on a defense, which is what we see our police systems do quite often. I was threatened. I felt threatened, so I shot his ass. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I think that either way, there's a thin line with it, brother. But irregardless, for me, I tend to be a pacifist. I don't like killing and assaulting others. I like love, peace.
I love love. I love peace, but I carry a motherfucking 40.
Right.
In my car, I have guns in my home. Why? Because I know we live in a society where people will shoot. I don't carry it because I'm going to shoot up a Walmart or elementary school or anything else. I carry it because it protects me when I need it. Now, if I get caught slipping, I get caught slipping. It is what it is. I don't go looking for anything. But we live in a society where people have guns. They have them. And some idiots fucking use them.
Yep.
They use them.
Yeah, for violent reasons. It's hard because I put up there the norm, not the exception. And that's why, so if we dig into a little bit of government, everything in this government that we have is technically, in theory, has checks and balances. That means that everything that we have has a connection to it. That way it can't run rapid without something else tugging on it. So you can't just base your decisions on emotions, because you can't get anything done quick enough to use your emotions to allow the action to take place. That's what this is. These things, like right now, we always go through these where these incidents come and everyone will start going off the deep end with that different ideas. Hey, we should do this. We should create this. We should, create a new law for a firing squad for those that shoot up schools, or anybody that does this particular thing, they should be lynched, or, we need to bring back, hanging and crucifying folk, anything. But that's the point. If you base it off of people's emotions, we have laws all over the goddamn place going crazy. So you got to have some sort of limit to kind of let a cool down period take place, and then make the decision on a reasoning basis, using hopefully logic and not your feelings. And then you're supposed to come up with a better outcome, technically. And this is funny because we're talking about them trying to create laws to extend the waiting period in order to try to vet people before they purchase the weapons. Meaning, you're trying to check something, trying to put a check in place, a stronger check in place. So hopefully it will minimize the emotional action that this maybe mentally deranged person may act on. But that's the crazy part. They ain't doing it. They don't want to do that. A lot of people are fighting that. They're like, no, we don't want it. We don't want no checks and balances on that for some reason. What you got, Cutter?
Because the crack is out there. The guns is the crack.
So
how you go? The crack is already in the community. It's already out there. So how you gonna tell somebody who's a crack addict, well, you know what? We're not gonna sell y'all crack like we used to. We're gonna make y'all apply for crack. Like, come on, man. The crack is already out there. You know how many guns are out here? Legally and illegally?
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna have to, it's gonna take a lot for that, for them to gain order, because they've already put the crack out there. They cannot control it anymore. That's what they figured out a long time ago. We messed up. We let the public get the guns. Now we can't control it. And they're faced with what they did. They allowed the public to have killing machines. And now you want to regulate the public with the killing machines. It's not going to happen. It's too late.
So let me ask a question, right? Because that brings me to another topic, Chris. So let's say we regulate, right? And we regulate gun control in a certain way, right? What's to say that regulation won't go against people of color having weapons?
Hey.
I mean, so I think because here's that fine line for me, and I'm gonna go right back to it. What I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's number 2?
Right to bear arms.
Right, bottom line. So it's not a privilege, and I'm gonna say that again. So when you start putting in legislation to this, that, and the other to determine whether I can or cannot have it, you're taking away what? My right to bear arms. You can't deny me the right to get a gun. There's no way.
Agreed.
You see, so they can. I mean, go ahead and legislate all you want, but to me, it opens up another can of worms, which I don't think we're looking at. Because if everything comes down to a whole war, right, and your people of color have been denied the access to get these guns, or they just don't hear it. Yeah, we'll give you access, but we just don't put them in your community. You see what I'm saying? We don't give you access to them. Okay. So right there, for me, you got to watch that fine line, brother. So the way I can just say it is that it's a right for everybody, race, color, creed. I don't care if you white, you black, you Asian, you Jewish, you have that right as an American citizen to bear arms, bottom line.
And that's why I say it's too late for them to attempt anything like now they can place laws.
Yeah.
They can place laws that basically mean, like, for instance, in New York, if you get caught with a gun, you probably gonna spend you ain't gonna spend less than 10 years in prison. That don't stop them from carrying guns. No, it doesn't. But they gun laws got strict. Like same thing in Chicago. You get caught with a gun, it's gonna be ugly for you. And that's just in those places.
Yeah.
So in Australia, guns are outlawed. You can't have guns in Australia.
Man, so they pulling a tombstone.
Yeah.
They're Wyatt Earp. Can't bring your guns in here.
You cannot bring no guns in certain places. No guns are allowed. Dubai? I don't know. Because I be seeing them motherfuckers letting off AKs like it's nothing.
Well, thank God for being an American.
I'm saying.
Do you?
But go ahead.
No,
I'm good. Go ahead.
It's interesting with this thing because it's a couple of ways you can play it just to try to deflect from the fundamental error in this whole thing. The norm, not the exception.
Right.
The guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. So no matter what we do, it's still not going to change the fact that these people are popping up at random places, making decisions that are not, they're dynamic. They're sporadic. It's not like a consistent pattern. They are shooting people, but we don't know who and why they're doing it. It's just they just popping up, showing up at a grocery store. Really?
We don't know why the black Mexicans are doing it. They interview the white motherfuckers.
Well, they get shot. They get put down as soon as they make the make the action known. They usually don't even make it through. So you're right. But
that's what I'm saying. You don't make it. If you black, go and shoot up a Kroger's if you want to. If you black, you're gonna die on sight. Now, if you white, they're gonna be like, Remy, you can go back to school. Put the gun down.
So they're gonna do some high learning. Put it down, Remy.
Remy, just put it down. Put it down. Don't do it. Because they see their son.
Yeah, that's the unconscious bias. That bias.
They see their son. Look, we're gonna make it through court, and we're gonna make sure you get some type of insanity plea.
Yeah.
Just put the gun down. We don't want to kill you. You're like us. You're like my son. I don't want to kill you. But let him be black.
Tyrell.
Oh, no.
Tyrell
he's got a gun. 100 shots.
It ain't gonna be that. He shot up who? He gonna
be looking like Cleon set it off. Motherfucker gonna tear your ass up.
Yeah. We'll never be able to. That's the catch, because again, we're in the abstract. So once we go into that subconscious or unconscious, that biasness, you will never be able to prove it, because it's not like they're gonna say, hey, when I shot that guy, I shot him because I felt threatened because he was a Negro. He's never gonna say that. They ain't gonna do that. They're always going to, I felt threatened. You can interpret why you think I felt threatened, but you'll never ever be able to prove that what I was thinking in my mind, that it was because he was a Negro or he was a person of color. and I was raised in a certain society, you know, with the cultural bias that taught me that, hey, these guys are violent. They're more violent than us, so we got to protect that. He's never going to say that. So you're wasting your time. So that's why I feel like we're going in circles, not with this conversation, but just with society itself, because the laws are not going to change, like you said, Cutter, because with Curtis, funny, they'll never admit it, but most people that have guns are not people of color. The most people that have guns are people of the white race. So if you
And
increase
fucking
those
RA members.
laws, exactly, if you increase those laws and make it more strict, it's not going to negatively impact the demographic of colored people. It's going to
Nope.
negatively impact the white society.
Them
And they
motherfuckers
know
will
that.
go to war.
They'll go to war for it. No, you're not going to do that. Not going to happen.
Well, yeah,
Whether
it's
we
a
realize
right.
it or not, NRA is a fucking army.
It's a right.
That too.
Yeah, that too. But I'm telling you,
I'm going to
threaten
war
to take their
against my
guns away
right.
if you want to.
Yep, you gave it to me. I'm taking it as mine.
Yep. Threaten to
You
take.
ain't gave me nothing.
threaten to
I got a
take-
right.
Well,
Threaten
they
to
gave
take
it to
the
you.
NRA.
It's a
Threaten to
legislative
take
right.
their guns away if you want to.
They gave it to you.
They're gonna be they're gonna be marching on Washington, yeah, but it's gonna be way worse than that Trump shit.
That and the
Come on.
economy, remember, because remember, these are gun stores. This is a large manufacturing business. So
Right.
again, when people feel threatened, they want to get guns. When they buy guns, the market value jumps up. I mean, why? If you restrict guns, then you're diminishing my profits. If I'm a manufacturer for weapons,
Right.
no, we're not changing no laws. Your little laws is gonna cost me millions and millions of dollars. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna mess with our money. You're not gonna change anything because we ain't gonna let you, because we got these particular politicians that we back without funding. It ain't happening. No matter what happens. I don't care who shoot up what school, how many supermarkets get shot up. We are not going to change anything. It ain't got nothing to do with rights. It's money. They're not going to change the money, because that's a lot of money that you're taking off the table when you're talking about restricting guns. Why? No, not for that. The norm, you know, rather for the exception, because that guy went and shot up an elementary school, or some nutbag went and shot up a grocery store. We're not doing it.
That ain't enough.
It ain't enough, and it doesn't. It still ain't touched our part of society
It
anyway.
ain't gonna never be enough, because this country was built on that, which we are talking about. Built on violence. If you
money, weapons,
money and weapons, at the end of the day, that's why I said it. The only way you can protect yourself is you can't beat them, motherfucking join them. And because it's no win in that department. It's no win. You're dealing. Now, if you move to Australia, you're good. You might be right. Capitalism. Which takes me into our next topic, because I don't want to harp on this for too long, because we're gonna go right back into go right into the Joe Biden's police reform executive.
Okay. This led right on into it, huh?
Right into it, bro. Right into it.
Sounds
But
good.
I'm gonna take a break.
Theory.
I'm gonna take a break, E. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't even keep up with the Biden's executive order thing.
Now let's let Chris bring it up so he can read it.
I'm curious. I'm laughing when y'all were talking about when we were growing up as kids. If there was a bully, you're supposed to, you got to defend yourself. Well, try to. But I don't know, because when we were kids, also it was becoming more violent as well, because people started imitating the movies a lot more. The stereotypes started expanding, and we started shooting. People started shooting. The only thing I could say that was positive, if you want to make a negative into a positive, is at least they were shooting who was the actual suspect. They wasn't shooting any random people. You stepped on my shoes, or you jumped my particular group of people, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. We coming for them. That person, that group.
Hey, look, I remember seeing Menace to Society at the movie theater for the first time back in, I think it's like 93 or something like that, right? And I remember watching it thinking, damn, old dog gangster, right? Like he just didn't care with his way. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember watching people want to mimic that, right? Boys in the Hood, you remember that when that first came out, tend to be very controversial back then, but you look at television now, that stuff is man, it looks G-rated compared to the stuff that we have on now. So I think it just shows not only the evolution of our acceptance to not just gun violence, but violence in general, but also how we've moved through a progressive state to where we are now, to where we're truly desensitized from what's normally going on around us. We see it too much.
Yeah, we are. We definitely all are. I guess that's the downside of having access to worldwide knowledge and information and events, because now you can, at the click of your phone, you can see what's going on in Africa now. Right now, it's what's going on in Europe. They can see what's happening in America, and then you're getting all this information overload, these event overloads, this violence overload, knowledge overload. So you can't help but become desensitized to it, because now it's like norm. We get candy every day. It ain't even no treat no more. So I get it. It's not going to get any better, because we still got access to information. It'll just get better. We'll just have more access to this stuff, which will allow us to continue to be more desensitized to it.
So, solution: go get you a gun. We like everybody.
He said, "Go get a gun."
I mean, for real. Because I think if there's a worry there about your safety and your protection, self-preservation is the first law of nature, and you have a right to preserve yourself, just as you have a right to bear arms to protect yourself. So I think for people who feel that it's an issue, right, or they're scared or in fear of their safety, you still have that option.
Yep, you're right. Oh no, where is it at? While we waiting on Cutter.
Yeah, I'm back. Hold on, let me
okay.
pull my information up real quick.
Thought about this, had me laughing.
Mama, I got a gun.
Fear of mine. Here's another fear of mine. My biggest fear is getting knocked out in front of my baby. That's a fear, man. As a dad, what do you do? What do you do when your kids come get you? Dad, they messing with me. Who? Them. As a dad, you got to go whip whoever them ass is. That's your job as a dad. What do you do when you go down there and get your ass whipped? What do you say? What do you say to your kids? Dad, they messing with me. Who? Them. Stay right here. Hey, motherfucker. Come on.
So we were talking about that when we were growing up, pretty much. If somebody was after you, usually, because we're talking about this particular incident with this young man that went and shot up the elementary school. If somebody's messing with you, who's messing with you? Them who? Them down there. You go get them. You shoot them. The people that's messing with you, you go after them. That's not what's happening there. They're going and using a kick the cat syndrome. Displacement is what they call it. You piss me off, I'm gonna go kick him. I'm gonna shoot them down there. The kids, they are the people at the grocery store or at the Walmart or at the
which
college
is some bullshit.
With their back turned, some elderly home that have seniors living there. Because I know that it's gonna be, the repercussions are gonna be easier. I won't have to deal with as much, and that's what it seems like we're dealing with this, and that's crazy, man. That's soft. If you're gonna do that, don't. And they've said it online. They've been saying it. Stop being a itch, and if you want to take it out, go up to the people that's messing with you, that you feel like are offending you or bullying you. and stop taking it out on the cat.
Ephraim,
But as I
I'm
said,
gonna be over your
go
house
ahead,
later
Chris.
on. I'm coming to see Ephraim, Chris, because he used to bully me as a kid and stuff. And I didn't like what him and Okara did to me, you know, umpteen years ago, and I still got beef behind it.
You know, bring it.
And you know what? I'm calling Marshall, you know, and Rasan, and you know, we coming over your house, Ephraim. I'm gonna deal with you.
He say, still holding on to it. And be like, man, what is wrong with you?
Like I said earlier, you're not dealing with soldiers. You're not dealing with bold individuals. You're not dealing with people who want to address the bully. They're cowards. So they run. It's like this. Somebody who just like you explained, a big brother bullies his little brother. His little brother goes to his little cousin and he bullies him because he has somebody to take it out on. Another example, the DeBarge family.
Mhm.
I watched that bullshit ass. Excuse me, they probably gonna see this. I hope it gets to that DeBarge family. That means we making some noise, but that bullshit ass docu series or whatever that hell documentary they had on Bobby DeBarge, that whack ass shit, they need to be shot for that shit. But his father, Bobby DeBarge, was the eldest DeBarge, who was a part of Switch. His father bullied the shit out of his son, his eldest son, beat his ass, and his son took it out on his little brother. Displaced anger, right?
Yeah.
I can't beat daddy ass, but I can beat your ass. So
take it out on
even
you.
though you never really did anything for me, but daddy loved you more than he loved me. So I'm gonna beat you in place of my and take my anger out on my father, on my little brother, because my dad loves him so much. At the end of the day, that made Bobby a coward because he didn't address the enemy. The real enemy was his father.
True.
But he feared his father. He didn't fear his little brother because he could take advantage of him.
Yeah.
Same thing with the school shooting. He didn't go to the bullies that were bullying him. He went to the smaller kids. That's some bitch ass shit, if you ask me.
Yep, Remy. He pulled a Remy.
From
High Learning. The same concept.
At the end of the day, come on, man. Same thing, bro. Same concept. You're dealing with a generation, or not even a generation. You're dealing with a society of fucking cowards. Cowards, bro. Same people who talk shit online every day. As Pimp C says, talking shit in safe places.
That's a good one.
Talking shit in safe places. But if they're ever confronted in reality, they gonna shit on themselves. Because now I was just playing, dog. It ain't that shit. You know how the internet is, dog. Come on, dog. You know it ain't that shit. No. What you said, say everything you said in my face, bro.
No, say it now.
No, it ain't that serious, dog. It ain't that serious. No, it is that serious. You said it all online. Say it in my face. But he's a coward. He's not gonna say it in your face. They're not gonna say it in your face. Why? Why would they say it in your face? That's not that. I was talking shit in my Disney world, bro. You fucking up my world. Now I gotta go think about what I got to say online. I can't talk my shit no more because I might get confronted. You're dealing with a society of cowards at the end of the day. Let's get into this Joe Biden.
Okay.
Yeah, president.
Curtis, why you got to look like that?
Y'all president.
Hey man, well, never mind. I'll say that for later.
No. I'm gonna play and let you get it out the system. Okay, where is our sign?
There's a concern that
Okay, there it
reckoning
is.
on
Y'all can hear it?
race-inspired
Yeah.
progress can be slow and frustrating. And there's a concern that the reckoning on race-inspired 2 years ago is beginning to fade. But acting today, we're showing that our dear friend, the late John Lewis, Congressman, wrote in his final words after his final march for justice in July of 2020. He said, "Democracy is not a state. It is an act. Democracy is not a state. It's an act, an affirmative act." Today we're acting. We're showing that speaking out matters, being engaged matters, and that the work of our time, healing the soul of this nation, is ongoing and unfinished and requires all of us never to give up, always to keep the faith. I close with this. Over 2 years now, for over 2 years, we've gotten to know one another and pray with one another, not figuratively, literally. I promised the Floyd family, among others, George's name is not just going to be a hashtag. Your daddy's name is going to be known for a long time. But as a nation, we're going to ensure his legacy and the legacy of so many others remembered today. It's not about their death, but what we do in their memory, their purpose. Just a few moments, I'm going to deliver on that promise when I sign the executive order. Kamala and I will continue, along with our friends in Congress, to get meaningful police reform legislation to my desk as best we can, as quickly as we can, beyond what we're doing here, affecting states as well. We're about to sign Advancing Executive Accountable Policing and Criminal Justice Practices to Enhance Public Trust and Public Safety. And since I only have one pen, you're all going to get a copy of this. I don't have to do one stroke at a time with each pen.
Ooh, he's about to sign it.
Over there looking like a
Yeah. Curtis, I'm gonna let you take it.
man. Bruh, he said one thing that stood out. It's not about the death. Huh?
It's not.
What do you mean it ain't about the death? We're going to make sure that he's remembered for all time. What, he's going in the history book?
Gonna give him a holiday.
Yeah, his story. We making history every day, right? So it's not about the death. How is it not about the death? I'm trying to understand that, brother. Like, maybe I'm a little slow this evening. It's not about the death. He said that, right? So what's that tell you? If it ain't about the death, then what's it about?
What you think?
He just told you it's about police reform. How? They can defund the police so they can get ready to initiate their military presence. See, I keep saying, bro, look at the broad stroke of the pen, right? And remember I said, during what's happening this week?
What,
started May 22nd. Who? World Health Organization, right? Man, did y'all see? And see, this is what I'm saying. They doing it all around the time where they were just sitting there talking about doing a pandemic treaty. Go research that. That's this week. You can pull up the minutes from the World Health Organization meeting from the 22nd up until the day, and you can read up on what they're talking about. So, I mean, all of this to me, this is that fluff I be talking about again. You know what I mean? Because they're getting you ready for something else. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, as far as I'm not a conspiracy guy. I take the facts that you give me, and then I interpret them how I can, and then I wait for it to happen. Put them on the bookshelf, and if it manifests in some sort of physical way, you got me. You called it. If it don't, oh well. Either way it go, guess what? It don't matter what we say or think, because we ain't sitting at the damn table to change things. It don't matter what you do. What you gonna do? Nothing. All you can do is be knowledgeable. Ooh, you figured out the plan.
You got one thing you can do, Ephraim.
What?
Go buy yourself a gun.
A gun? You say go buy yourself a gun.
Got yourself a gun.
Hey, ain't gonna change much because everybody else got guns. So all you gonna do is be purging. It's gonna be a big ass purge as far as that. Not saying that's gonna happen, but that's what it makes me think of.
They ain't put that movie out for nothing.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't surprise me with anything because they don't give you anything. There's everything that happens is not for us. It's for the country. Country. I can't even say that. It's based off of the reality of those who have elected officials in office. That's what it's about. Not you as an individual, but those who have the power, the money backing those legislators in office currently. It's based off of that.
So, question: who's the left wing?
You said the who?
Who's the left wing?
Left wing?
Mm-hmm.
The leftists, the left wing.
But the Democrats, you mean?
Oh, okay. Who's the right wing?
I would assume the Republicans, but they interchange based off of the platform, the agenda that's on the table. It's never consistent.
Right.
Oh, that's bipartisan. Is that bipartisan? What that word mean?
It is.
What that word mean? You know,
everybody's involved, everybody together on this particular issue.
Oh, okay. So I got a left wing, and I got a right wing. It's all the same damn bird. What you talking about?
The same damn bird, exactly. You're right about that.
See, once again, that's that fluff they keeping you duped.
True.
Right? So they can sit here and argue perspective for America because people in America, some people think left, some people think right. Either way, they don't give a shit. It's the same damn bird flying above everybody.
Right.
That's true. Same
so exactly. So it's only there. That's why if you ever look at the justice, right? That symbol for justice. Number one, the bitch is blind. You got a blindfold on. And then the scales is tipped. Right? There's a reason for that. You see what I'm saying? Just go do some research. Because they give you the symbols all day long. Signs and symbols of the conscious mind, brother. Go look in the courtroom at that little symbol in the back with the little branches and stuff. That's a symbol of fascism. Sitting right there in every courtroom. Right? Most people don't even understand maritime admiralty law, the law of the sea. That's the law of commerce. Henceforth, commerce, current what? Current sea. Right? Current, maritime, water, and sea. Okay? So current meaning the energy that you put into producing products, goods, and services, man. Like all of this is in front of you, but you don't see it. Right. That's why they tell you in the Matrix. I'm sitting here going, he gave him a blue pill and he gave him a red pill. But where were they sitting at when he had to take the pill? What reality was that? Do you see my point here?
Right.
So yeah, they'll show you both sides of the scale, but at the interim, the one thing they're not going to show you is the reality that's truly set in front of you. You know what I mean? So we'll be talking about this again in next May. And next May, when we get to next May, just count how many of these things happen, right? Because it always happens in May. Let's go back and keep watching what the World Health Organization does, how they conclude their pandemic treaty. You know what I'm saying? For this weekend, let's go look at our monetary money system and like we talked about last week, the whole blockchain, because there's a change coming globally. And that's what the people don't see.
Is that always happening though? There's
Ah,
always a change globally.
well, to a certain extent, a degree, but you're getting to a point now where everything is based, of course, on USD, on the US dollar, right? And the US dollar has always been the dominant currency around the world. Everything's paired against it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you look at the dollar right now, because of all the money they're printing, right, it's lessening that value, right? Go look at your Forex market. Look at the charts today, right? And you can see how USD compares up against other currencies around the world, right? I mean, this is just basic economics, man. You know, so like I said, they like for us to be involved in who did what and he said, she said, and you know, all these little fictitious ideas about morals and ethics and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, none of that shit even exists, especially if you can deem killing right over here, deem it wrong over here, but it's still killing. That's how America works. It's always a double standard and a contradiction. That's why they make a play on how they use the words. That's what your politics is made of. You know what I mean? And you voting these people in the office thinking that they're your representative. I mean, if that's really your representative, is he representing you when he's up there in Congress and the Senate?
Of course not. It's based off of priority.
Oh, but wait a minute. Here's the fucked up part, F. Look, everybody know lobbying. Everybody know lobbying. Everybody knows what it is. And that's a nice way of saying nigga, we bribing you. Okay?
Yep.
Come on, man. So, and everybody knows it happens. Everybody knows it's legal. Everybody knows the effects of lobbying. That I can pass a bill through that benefits me and my company or corporation so that I can make billions of dollars off the American people. Everybody knows this happens, correct? But ain't nobody said nothing. You still voting every time it come around. You this person that you checking a box on. Come on, man, get out of here. It's a joke.
My pastor, you know who my pastor is.
George Carlin.
George Carlin has said this in the 80s. They spend all this time lobbying to get more for themselves and less for everybody else. And this was said in the 80s. And people were just catching on in the 2000s. That's so crazy. It's beyond me how we continue to accept. At this point, I told E I'm really ready to move to Ghana. He think I'm bullshitting. I'm not playing. Not that it might be any better there. I don't know, but I want to go see.
It won't, but you got to go see.
I'm like, man, at this point, I'm like, hey, I just want a different scenery. If Ghana is that place, you know, that's supposed to be the new Wakanda, let me go see what they talking about over here. Let me go visit and just see what the politics is like over here, you know. Because if I swear some white people standing behind the curtain running that shit, I'm right back in the United States. Like, you motherfuckers.
Well, you know,
no, it ain't gonna be white over there. It'll be Chinese, but that's
exactly story. Yeah. That and then because they're again behind the curtain is you might have black folk running it, but the economy itself is still going to be governed by European nations.
Right.
Our Asians now, they jumping in too, but
because Ghana ain't got no army.
They never let the economy go. They gave them the social and the political. They say y'all can run this. Go ahead, do what you want to do. And when you give that to people, like you said, Cutter, you're gonna get to Ghana. Since we're using that as an example, you're gonna get there. You got humans, humans there. You got human desire, right? Same human desire. We all the same. We humans. Got that same emotional content within us, so you already know what's going to happen. You're going to have people that want to benefit themselves over somebody else because self-preservation is always key. I'm going to take care of me and mine before I take care of anybody else. And if it comes down between me and you, regardless of what color you are, what gender you are, how old you are, how short or tall you are, what our beliefs are, my desire, my wanter will always overpower everything.
Well, here's the beauty of that. And people can take this how the fuck they want to. At least my legacy will begin with that. Because I look at what we're looking at now in America, and I would say this, I would rather begin a legacy that is a part of the people who are on the up and up than begin to continue a legacy of people who were trickling down.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can begin a legacy in Ghana that's saying, hey, we're at the beginning of something, but you know, we're gonna cut this shit off eventually. You know what I'm saying? As long as my last name is on the up and up, and my kids, grandkids, and whoever else can benefit from that, cool. Because I would rather them benefit from that than to be living in fucking Harris County, benefiting from this bullshit.
I'm going to Wyoming to live with Kanye.
Wyoming is your
because I don't know shit about Wyoming, but it's a reason why he done went that motherfucker. So
yeah, but we're gonna do some research on Wyoming.
Yeah, he bought a whole bunch of land over there for some reason. So I'm like, okay, what Kanye up to over there in Wyoming?
I'm going with Kanye. Kanye's, look out for your boy. I'll be on my way.
He said, I'm going to Wyoming.
Apparently, Kim ain't want no parts of that shit.
Hey, she a gypsy anyway. We don't want her. She gypsy. You know what I mean?
Well, we know they gypsy. They connive. You know what? Let me shut up because I get on here and get us banned and shit. But let's just say
Kim, I like you, girl. Chloe, what's happening?
She fine though.
But yeah, gypsies man, fuck that. I'm gonna say what I need to say. It's concrete reality TV. A gypsy ain't never supposed to be trusted. That motherfucker stupid for having kids with that woman. Her whole family, they full of hustlers. Her mama was a pimp. She was a madam. She pimped out all her daughters.
Man.
And got rich. Because they was broke after Rob died. They ain't had no money. They was stealing from Brandy.
You said what?
Yeah, where was I?
When?
Oh, you trying to get in?
Yeah, when Rob Kardashian died, they ain't had no money. They had no money like that. I mean, they wasn't broke, but they wasn't living the life that they were living when she was fucking OJ. Nobody want to say that shit though.
Uh-oh.
Chloe, we know that's your dad. It's okay.
Come on, man. That big old girl. Rob Kardashian was a short motherfucker. Where the hell she get that height from? In that big ass
mama
head?
Tall.
Fuck out of here, man.
Her mama pretty tall.
And OJ say he's man. Who? Chris? Oh, her other mom.
No, her mom was. I thought her mom was pretty tall.
Chris Jenner.
Yeah.
No, she's not tall.
Oh, how tall is she?
She probably about at least look at Chris Jenner height.
I thought she was taller than that. I thought she was like 5'10", something like that. 5'9". I guess it's the heels that she always wearing.
It don't matter to me.
He said, "I say don't matter to me." Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Chris Jenner 5'6", bro.
5'6". And how tall is Chloe?
Probably about OJ height. Let me stop.
Because you know they all be rocking them heels.
5'10".
Oh, okay. Say, I don't know.
Man, OJ said that. I mean, well, you got to remember, we dealing with back in what those was early 80s, late 70s, early 80s when OJ was the guy. Cali, that was Swinger Central, bro. Come on, man. Stop playing.
He said,
Stop playing.
I don't know.
Swinger Central. That's what that show. Swing Town. That's what that show was based off of. If you go look up an old show called Swing Town, and they got out there real quick. they didn't make it out there. I think they may have waited one season, but they were fit to be telling too many secrets. So yeah, they got them out there real quick. That's what that show was based off of. The late 70s, early 80s in the California.
Oh, okay.
It was Swinger Central. Everybody was swinging. Miami, Florida, whatever. Everybody was swinging. All them white couples, black people, some black people, sprinkles of black people. But back then, that was their thing. Everybody was sleeping with everybody, and everybody knew about it. So
Swinging.
that's why the Bill Cosby thing is up in the air. It was Quaaludes, swinging, swinger clubs, especially New York, Cali, New York. It was Quaaludes, cocaine, and swinger clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody
hear about that.
Anybody who was born in that time, or was living in those days and living the party life in their 20s and shit, they was doing that shit. Cocaine, Quaaludes, and swinging. Everybody was fucking everybody. That's why when Bill Cosby's case came around, everybody was like, "What the hell are y'all talking about?" He drugged.
He said, "I thought we all were doing this."
Everybody was doing that shit, and especially in Hollywood. Especially in Hollywood. Let's stop that shit. Come on, man. Everybody, but it's so we're living in a society now that everybody gets convenient amnesia. All this convenient amnesia going around. Oh, well, I was not like that. Stop lying.
They don't want to get canceled. Nobody want to get canceled.
Stop lying. R. Kelly them ain't get that shit from that shit been going on in Hollywood. All them freaky ass parties they used to have.
Yep. Yes.
That shit wasn't nothing new.
Yep. Now it's just it's broadcasted, is more accessible now. I mean, everybody can see it.
Which that's another podcast we needed. That's another show.
Yep, and I will be glad to do that
of
shit.
Hollywood.
Because everybody got it from Hollywood. Think about it. The reality shows we see now, all the stuff that we see now are effects from Hollywood. Think about it. When we were growing up, we only copied what we saw on Video Soul and BET and MTV. We knew what the latest fashion was based on who was wearing what. Or what rapper said what in what song.
Mm-hmm.
Jabos, rayon shirts, Jordans, K-Swiss. It was a uniform because we were Southern, but Jabos were a designer clothes. A designer outfit.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't buying no damn Jabos. We was borrowing each other jeans like a motherfucker. Come on, man. Guess jeans.
Curtis already know about that. Serve and got mine right there on Westheimer. So I don't want to hear nothing. I was solo serve by the Galleria getting my Jabos.
Hey, I was borrowing mine. I was wearing Okira's and Curtis's stuff.
Hey, look. And I was wearing y'all shit too, nigga. If I wear it one day, I'll wash it and throw it in the little closet, hang that motherfucker up, and wear that motherfucker up to school.
Hey man, when I figured out you remember you could go down to King's, right? Go down to King's Flea Market and get a nice little rayon shirt for about $20.
Oh yeah,
be popping, right?
Yep. Hey, so let's end this thing. What's next? I mean, so what do you do?
I already told you my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Get a gun.
Get a gun. Got myself a gun.
Hey, E. What? You can tell Curse how long I've been trying to get you to get a gun.
A long time. But
and Ephraim,
mm,
I still don't have one either, so it's okay.
well, in Kennesaw, it's on the books out here. It's an older law that you have to have a rifle. You got to have a shotgun. You got to. All homeowners in Kennesaw, Georgia, have to own a shotgun. And it's, of course, it's not enforced now, but it's been on the books for a long time. One of those old legislators. And it's just funny because you already know why they had to have guns. They were trying to keep certain people out, but they still got it on the book. So now, you know, you always have a good laugh when you talk about this area called Kennesaw, Georgia. But it is, I think it's one of the top 3 or top 5 safest places to live.
I bet.
Maybe that has something to do with it. Everybody packing. Or the fear of having everybody packing detours crime, because you know if you come in here, you probably ain't gonna leave quick. If you
Well, E, let me help you out real quick, because it's my next purchase, so I know you need to get you one.
What you got there?
Innovation isn't just about where you are today. It's also about where
you down.
I am. Hold on.
And where you're going. This is our latest advancement, M&P 12. Purpose-built for serious protection. Developed for exceptional maneuverability. Ideal for tight spaces. Designed with a similar ergonomic adjustable grip as our M&P 2.0 pistol lineup.
Is this dude going to war?
The M&P 12 grip can be fit to your hand for optimal trigger reach and recoil control. The M&P 12 is built to give you options, and that includes ammo. Run different shells, mini, 2 3/4, 3-inch, mix and match.
Yep.
Designed with load assist for easy
2-in-1
loading. With a wide range of shell compatibility, you choose the shells that best fit your needs. Engineered with the same controls you're familiar with, a platform built for options and accessories. Stay focused on protecting what matters to you. At the end of the day, we're empowered to create the world we want to live in. So, we must prepare for the worst, but we must always expect the best. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans.
MP12 bullpup, baby. That's my next thing, baby.
Empowering Americans.
Right. Chris, you're the wrong color. You didn't see the end of that, buddy. That wasn't for you, guy. That was not for you, Chris.
Trying to create the America that we want.
Yeah, exactly. You heard what they said as he walked in and kissed his white wife.
Trying to create the America that we want.
Exactly. Prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst, Chris.
Hey man, I've been shooting 12 gauges for years, man. They all shoot the same. It don't matter if it's Smith & Wesson or Mossberg. They all shoot the same.
Well, man,
get along.
Well, yep.
I wish we could, but unfortunately, go on here and do your thing, man. I really appreciate this last minute podcast, man. I wanted to get this done. Eve, you want to post it on the YouTube channel, feel free.
Okay.
I think it's already up, so we can just leave it up, man, as a live. But I want to do something like this, from time to time, man. If it's something that just that's urgent, we need to talk about. I don't want to have to wait till next Monday to
Yeah, because
discuss
then
it.
it'd be dry and be late.
Right.
It already been
Right.
ran through by everybody else talking about it. So yeah, we appreciate everybody chiming in. Like I said, thanks for supporting Concrete Reality TV.
Yes,
Be
sir.
sure to like and subscribe. We're
Like
gonna
and
keep bringing
subscribe.
this. Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yep, Curtis, thanks for coming by again.
All right, brother.
Yeah, we probably gonna have something new coming out probably next week. So be looking forward to it. And yeah, y'all have a good one, man.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
All
man.
right,
All right, man.